demoralizing for me, and I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people too as well. When others just don't give the same like output. I don't know the word. I want
Effort.
to like the same effort. Like it's if sometimes it feels like we have a full raid, but it feels like half a raid. I wanna understand why. Why do you feel sometimes? Do you feel forced logging in, and you log in and you just don't want to play at your full potential? You don't want to play at that time. You just log in because I told you to, or because Talia told you to, or like I wanna know why. I'm not gonna like point fingers. I'm just gonna say in general, like everyone has their off days. But okay, so my first question will be this: like, why do you have off days sometimes? What would be reasons for it? How can we help those reasons
Okay, so basically what's
like
going on in the
disappear
meeting is that
so we can
lecturing
all
us
be
about
in our
content
A game at all
and
time?
why we're not showing up for raids. So nothing
Like when we
important
log
yet.
in, I want to play and win.
I blame Thunderwing Kite.
Fuck that boss.
It's the shittiest thing in the world.
Yep.
It's a American challenge. We'll be there.
Honestly, I think it's gonna get worse because they're making the events more.
User joined your
So
channel.
the repetitive events are just gonna get even more repetitive. Being 10
What do you
times a
mean
week.
more? I mean, there are, like,
with
only
Kraken
Dragon
and
becomes
Red
three
Dragon.
times.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
Dragon's the best event, right?
Oh.
For us at least. For our
And they're all
nation.
making it at the same time.
My worry is that people are only going to be on for those 3 hours.
Nope. Yep. Some of us can't even be on because we're West Coast.
So when you say that you're concerned that they're only going to be on for those hours, what other things would you like people to participate in other than the big raids?
The other aspects of the game. I mean, I can answer that question straight up. Coming from someone who started this game out as a green pirate, and that's all I did. It's a lot of fun when there are people on, because that is the basis of how a lot of things in arcade are kind of based around. You know, okay, there's PvP. You know, you X up. We're not going to do a mass poke anytime there's PvP so that you can log in for the chance that there is PvP. It is sometimes a spontaneous thing, and it does require you to be logged in and to be actively doing stuff. And you're right that the game is incredibly repetitive when it comes to content, specifically raid content. What's RD spawn in Eastern Time? 6 p.m.
The new timers, guys, are 6
User
p.m.
joined your
6
channel.
p.m.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we should probably make everyone aware. The new timers for Kraken. Yeah, thank you, Mark. That's probably the easiest.
It's in ping pong.
The channel ping pong.
Yeah.
Well, considering they spawn at the same time and on the same day, it's going to make them choose.
User joined your channel.
Sort of, anyway. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's for later. I feel like my question got skipped.
Yeah.
Still at a shitty time during the day, though, for people that work.
Your question wasn't necessarily about time, but specifically about if you are going to a raid and if you guys feel like, you know, you're not really there 100%, why don't you want to be there? Why aren't you there 100%? We notice it. Everyone else notices it.
I'm sorry, I want to say another thing to you, right? If you feel like you're underperforming or for some reason, whatever we're talking workshops are not working, please approach me, Tari, or Entex, so we can see what's going wrong. Because that way we know that something is going wrong. Like, we see our skull move left, maybe they get instant blown up, or maybe they get caught, or whatever, and it's not working, so we need to change that. So, I mean, it's not always the tactics fault, it's just like people, I don't know, maybe not popping liberation before you go in, or maybe it's not specking liberation before you go in, or like silly stuff like that, like silly mistakes that just add up, especially when we are outnumbered. Like every mistake counts as double, you guys know. I don't know, like, I'm getting pings, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, Buddha is replying to you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're shy, you don't want to tell everyone why, like, that's fine. Just PM us.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you can poke us. I'll voice your opinion right now. I have no issue with that. I get pokes, whispers throughout the day where I don't even actually raid call, guys. I actually just get pokes and whispers throughout the entire day. Alright, I don't get those kind of pokes.
Okay, that made me laugh probably more than it should have. And, you know, if you don't want to talk about it right now, or you aren't quite sure, you know...
No, we should
we're
talk about
always
it right
here.
now.
No, okay, my point line is that we're always here to listen. Like, you can always poke and talk about it.
I'll voice my opinion. I mean, like, I'm not available a lot during the week. I'm usually only available during the weekends just because everything's dead while I'm at work. But when I am in raids, I feel like I go all out. And, you know, I fully pot. I try to follow raid lead. I try to, you know, stick with the plan. But I do feel like there's days where we have weekdays and we're weak against the opposition. But I don't feel like it's people not pulling their weight. I think that a lot of times comes down to
meeting is
who we have online.
Like
We're short mages, we have a lot of melee, and we play it the same way that we would if we had a lot of mages. And we just can't be as able to move around, and rezzing doesn't happen, and so like we lose a battle that we feel like we could have won with the same amount of numbers. I feel like that's an issue.
Yeah, that's been a big one. A lot of the raids that I've been to where it's felt like we're struggling like that, even though we have the numbers. It has been like a Skull Knights number, or you know, you don't have your Skull Knights and raids. It's making a huge difference to that.
Yeah, I've never felt like people are not trying to give it their all. I feel like a lot of times it comes down just to strictly to composition. Like, we're trying to fight the same type of fight with a different comp.
I think morale is also a big thing. I notice it in particular when we're fighting, like, really bad Zerg. Right? I'm talking, like, really, really, really bad Zerg. Like, they have double our numbers. And you can just see the way people play. They play more fearful, they play more... you know, backpedaling, they don't want to commit, you know, that kind of playing. And don't get me wrong, you know, off days are a thing, but that cannot be the excuse every time. And as it becomes more and more apparent, it is definitely more apparent that that is not just an excuse. That it is more than just composition.
Well, again, I'm not around for every raid. I'm only around in the evenings or on the weekends for the most part, so I don't see like some of the other problems that might go on during the day when we're low numbers, but morale is definitely a problem. I think like getting your ass handed to you is demoralizing. Like you have 2-to-1 numbers, and you can win like certain fights, and then all of a sudden they just crush you. That's demoralizing.
Yeah, like, okay, they pull 2 raids. The only thing we can probably fight them at is Red Dragon. Because guess what? You have Red Dragon doing so much damage for you. It's all the DPS you need. Like, but I do see your point then. So what else, guys?
If you guys feel like we're not giving it our all, is it something that, because probably everybody thinks that they're personally giving it their all, so is it something that maybe the officers
I'm not like
could
criticizing...
pull aside and be like, hey, maybe this is something you can work on, or let's talk about your spec, or whatever?
I will definitely say, as a leader, that is definitely something that I could have done better, is more pulling aside and kind of individually reaching out to those individuals and seeing, hey, why are you playing like this today? What is going on? Are you just having an off day kind of thing? But, you know, that is also a very large task when it comes to the...
Well, if it's regarding reaction time, I've seen that. I've seen that when I've been in raids. I don't know who's echoing.
User was kicked out of your channel.
I mean, I've been in raids where reaction time seems slow, and
User was moved to
I don't know
your
what you
channel.
chalk that up to. Like people get distracted, but when I'm in a raid, I'm like the main focus is playing. If I'm distracted, I'll be like, I'm gone, guys. I need to log out. Like I think other people, if you're gonna be distracted by something, like just I'm not a raid lead, but like as a player that's trying to give it everything I got when I'm online, like, yeah, if you're distracted, don't. I would say just man up and be like, I gotta bounce, guys. Like, don't be distracted fighting, like, because we think everyone's there, and if you're not, then that can be really annoying, and that's more demoralizing than just losing.
I would say,
That's
yeah,
what
it
I can
absolutely
say.
is. That
You
is
can
what
s-
Lion is explaining.
I can see it. I can see it in people going into fights half buffed. I can see it in the reaction times. Like our reaction time sometimes is just so. Like I don't understand. Like
Water
get off.
combat's the big one. It's
Literally,
noticeable.
Karia has to sit there for like 10 seconds yelling, "Get the fuck off the boat! Get off the boat! Get off the boat! Get off the boat! Get off the boat!" Like 10 seconds. Like why? I don't see any reason to that. It should be get off the boat, urgency's up. Like that should be the next fucking command. Like people are just all tabbing when we're on the boats, or like it feels like every
User
time,
joined your
anytime we
channel.
have like a little, okay, we're stopping here to buff. I'll tab. I'm gonna check my Facebook, and then by the time you tap back in, you're at the end of the tail, and we have this long ass tail when we're moving. And that's what I mean by like not giving it your all. Like the things that I notice. I don't know if Entax wants to add to this. I don't know if Octavia wants to add to this.
I don't know, I feel like our main concern right now should be activity. Like, dude, yesterday we lost a pizza like within 5 minutes because we didn't have 10 fucking people in raid. Like,
Yeah, but
literally, what,
that is
5
the whole
minutes?
point of this conversation. I
Yeah.
is to understand why people aren't, having fun or aren't enjoying it. Because they are enjoying it, they'll log in.
I think it's also that people get too comfortable with the numbers in Nation. Oh, there's 170 people. I'm sure someone else will take my place.
I think it's also the fact that 3.5 is in a week, and a lot of people are working towards a lot of shit, and would rather do that than fight a mindless Zerg.
Mm-hmm. No, and that is definitely something I have experienced and noticed. With the coming up to 3.5, I've noticed that a lot of people are focusing more on the more, individual improvement. But touching on mindless Zerg, after talking with a few of the kids from Omen and talking with a few other people, they're looking to leave. They aren't happy inside Disaster Nation, and so they have been putting feelers out, trying to get in other places. Rax and Alpaca are making a nation on Kraken, and so he put out feelers to there. Critical X did. He also put out feelers to Latinas. So they're definitely looking to move.
Did you say Alpaca is going to make another nation?
Yes,
I did.
Yes.
Yes. I did. I know.
By disaster. They're going to Kraken.
No, and I get that you guys don't just, you want to work on things that are prepping, because you're right. A lot of people didn't realize that, oh, fuck, I need to do this before 3.5? Or fuck, there's not going to be charcoal anymore before 3.5? Like,
I don't think we've done enough of that as a group. I think that's been neglected too much.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying, is everything has been focused on only content, which, I'm sorry, but content doesn't improve your character. No one makes anything off of it, and that's not always, like, the goal is to make shit off of content, but people need to improve as well. Like, I enjoy improving my character, and when we play and do content all day long, and then I go to do my own thing, and I get yelled at because I'm doing my own shit, I'm not at content, it's frustrating.
I put in some multiple hour days easy, back to back to back to back to back to back to back, and
Especially
I feel like
when
I'm
people
being there.
only have a few hours a day to play. Like someone was saying earlier, you can't. I don't know. Some people can play all day. Some people can play 2 hours a day. So their mindset's a little different when they're logged in.
true.
But all the content's going to be in a certain block of time, so it'll be different.
It will. And don't get me wrong, we are talking about now. We don't know what 3.5 is going to be like. We don't know how it's going to change content necessarily. We have ideas, we have predictions, but the biggest fucking thing is that, right now, we have until, Wednesday?
Wednesday, yep.
So what else? What are the frustrations you guys have? What do you think we could do better? What do you think that we could change? How would you have more fun? Things like that. Oh, okay, here we go.
That was actually one of the funnest things I think I've done in here as a group, was queuing free-for-all 8s.
Do it.
I think that's a good
User
point,
joined your
Sulfies.
channel.
I know, there are some people here that were not here for that, that part of Curios, but they definitely do understand that, yeah, when there was that constant drive and that constant need, it is nice because it is the all for one, one for all. The difference now is, yeah, I mean, we have kind of moved away from that, and the drive, I don't know if you remember, the drive during that farm session really burnt out a lot of people. That's also my concern.
I also feel like the drive should be more serious here because it's barcode. It's not FEMA, it's not someone else's nation, it's your nation. I'll play this here too. Like, this is our nation, guys. This is why we're here. We're here to defend it. We're here to fight disaster.
PvP and enjoy it. Like, that's the biggest thing. You're absolutely right.
I think it's like a big issue. Like me, from ever since when I was in Tahyang, like when Moise kept putting up those videos, like it always seemed like you guys are having so much fun. So like I wanted to, I mean, for different reasons I left Tahyang, but it's like I wanted to come here to specifically like play with Barco. It looks so much fun. And it's like, for me, I'm like a big troll. I like to like do stupid stuff, and like, you know, that's just how I enjoy the game. But I also like take PvP seriously. But it, like, for example, if you're a green pirate, your goal is never to run packs. It was always to steal someone else's packs. So it's like a different playstyle. So like when we came into the nation, or when I played a game here, our goal was to contest, not to be the one that wins the content. So I feel like people come with this mindset that we are losing like Red Dragon, we're losing DGS, we're losing this, when we were never supposed to win it in the first place. Like, sure, we have like a lot of players, we have like really strong DPS, but there's many other aspects of that where we're lacking. Like for me, you know, personally, or from what I hear from other players as well, is we're really lacking on healers. And it's not that our healers are bad. I mean, you know, for whatever, maybe it's hyping or something, but there's times where, you know, it takes heals forever to get to me. So, you know, like, healers are one thing, we just don't have enough healers maybe, or they just don't have enough, you know, gear or whatever. But it just feels like we're here, we have to remember that, I don't know, we're here to contest and to have fun, not to win versus really, literally the biggest skill.
However,
you know?
when our callers have an issue with us not winning, I mean, everyone has to be in the same mindset, and if all the players are just there to contest and have fun, that's great, but our callers aren't always like that, Kibo.
I feel like we don't really have a direction. Like, are we here to win content? Are we here to fight for fun?
That's what I think. I always
disaster?
thought we're just here to have fun, to contest disaster.
What are we
you know,
here
like,
to do? Because it seems like
them.
we focus so much on content, we don't have fun.
You can
And
do the
then it's
content,
like,
I'm just saying,
everyone
don't
just
have
says,
we shouldn't
"Oh,
have the
we're gonna have
mindset of
fun."
winning content. Or
Yeah,
like, not even that. We shouldn't be, like, begin with, we shouldn't be expecting to win Kraken over a nation that pulls, like, 5 freaking Anoans when we have, like, we struggle with 1 or 2. Or what it feels like. Like, it's not even about numbers. Like, then, you know, like, there's many other different things. But, like, me as, like, another thing is, like, as an archer, I always get pulled on the second raid, you know, and it's like, it's 50-50. Sometimes I get, like, an amazing raid where people are just, like, almost trolling. They're like, oh, this is a shitter raid, you know, like, you know, all the archers and, like, some random healers. But it ends up being like even better, or like amazing PvP. I don't know, we're just like trolling or having fun, and I don't know why the main raid can't be like that. Like, people just get
on the second raid part.
disappointed. Second raid is like,
Either it's like really good and everyone's doing good, or like it's
Yeah.
just people just
Or
AFK,
people are
don't
like,
care.
oh, AFK because I'm not on
And at
first
that
raid.
point, it's just like
Yeah.
brings morale down in the second raid a lot of times.
Yep.
I've noticed that second raid tends to do its best when most of the archers are there. Like last raid I was in, that there was first raid and second
User
raid. We had half the
disconnected from
archers
your
in first
channel.
raid and half the archers in second raid, and either raid did really swimmingly.
Yeah. But like it shouldn't be like, you know, like we're all, it's almost like we're splitting ourselves into like, oh, this is the raid that doesn't matter, and then there's the other players that
That's not how it
we're
is, though.
that's what it feels like, you know.
That's
just
how it
put
feels
the,
like. It's exactly
like
how
we
it feels
get,
like,
there's
though.
times where we get no healer. It's like if you get to second raid, I'm like, well, why would I want to come to raid when, like, instead of like, why does it have to be, you know, like 50, like 7 people? Why can't it be like 40 and 17? Like, maybe that's more effective.
I think
I'm
that's
just
a
saying.
good point.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be something we look at.
Because, you know,
Split for tactical reasons instead of just numbers.
When we have
But,
like,
Well,
I
I
mean,
think like you were saying
it's
before,
just
Debo,
totally-
is our healers, we do lack some healers, and we definitely lack like really high output ode healers. So having 50 people in main raid, we're splitting it in half. That requires 2 of your main odes to be split. So I don't know.
Either
I mean,
way, I feel like
the
second raid
question-
deserves an ode. I mean,
Real quick though, let's get back onto what the actual question was, which was, why aren't you enjoying things? So if the issue is that you're not enjoying raids because you don't like being in second raid, then, you know, okay, then that is a reason of why you're not coming.
I don't think that's the thing. Maybe what he's trying to say is maybe we don't like.
I think what he's trying to say is that there's a portion of the population that feels underappreciated, and it is the second raid people. And
Well,
why
it's not-
should we come if we're just going to be shoved in second raid? We're not going to be thought about. We're not going to see the marks. We're not going to get the calls. We're not going to get to know where the locations are, and we're not going to get heals. That kind of makes raids no fun.
You're right, but that doesn't
People say
account
change
for
my
the
channel
fact
on this
that
video.
the people that we put in second raid mostly, what is that, possibly caps 30 people? So that's 30 people in a nation of 170, so what is the excuse for the other 140?
I don't know. Lately, everything's been before I even get home. So, I mean, some people do have full-time jobs.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
and
I
the
mean,
timers are
90%
going to
of the
change
things happen before I get home.
Yeah.
The new timer's gonna be like dinner time here, though. Like when they spawn.
Because I don't even know how people on the West Coast even come to anything.
We can't if we work. It's fucking retarded. Like I think actually is as frustrating as losing. The fact that everything is dead before we get on, and then we don't really do much outside of like contesting the content. Like if we went out and like pirated them, if there was people to pirate, I think that would be interesting. But we don't really do that much.
Down, let me know.
Miss Merrill
You
has
can
some
farm
fun.
Well,
I
let's
stand
talk
around
about
my
that,
farm
Miss
all
Merrill,
night.
because you know we've been lately struggling a lot at Miss Merrill. We didn't even get half a raid today, and yeah, there was people going and doing their own thing, whether they were going to Gold Trader or whatnot. But here we were as a group, as a guild. We won the event as a nation.
Almost got Oprah.
I mean,
But it was
I think
hard.
that kind of also goes back to, so like for me personally, as someone who's done Hero 14 times, I can't stand Miss Marrow. It makes me want to gouge my eyes out.
Yeah.
I log into Miss Marrow.
This one can be fun, but it can also be very boring.
And
It
at the
sucks.
same time.
It's so
I just
sad.
don't
Miss
enjoy
that's
it
like
at all.
Kraken, though,
Miss Marrow
and
is-
Thunderwing. Like, it's for me at least. I cannot fucking stand either one of them, and it's difficult for me to make them. First of all, but they are not enjoyable at all to me.
Here's my issue with a lot of the stuff. It's getting stale content, and at this point in Kyrios, the winning of 90% of fights comes down to who has the most numbers. And Disaster, because they care more about winning than the actual PvP or contesting or anything else, will bring as many numbers as they can to any fight in order to
Absolutely.
quickly secure the objective and then leave. Like, that's their goal. If they see one person with water, they will call 10 people, kill you, put the water on land, and then pour it out. And you just lost like 1v10. If it's Kraken, they will bring a raid and a half, even if you only have 15 people. It's like you can say that like, oh, our objective is to just like, you know, have fun in PvP and and try to contest, but like literally everything comes down to numbers, and it's the same content over and over again, and we know how it's gonna go. Like we know what happens every single Kraken. They bring more people with like port advantages and a closer safe island and all this
And
shit,
more boats.
and they kill it as quickly as possible to give us as little actual chance to do anything, and then leave, and that's it.
Yep.
They don't stay behind to fight. They don't care if people get left behind with tentacles. Like, it's not about the PvP anymore. Like, we have to actually dig and look really hard to find anything close to equal number PvP. I'm out, like, doing waters and stuff, and I'll kill one person, they'll call 3. I'll call 3, they'll call 7, I'll call 10, and then there's 20v20 over water, and, like, and then everyone just leaves because it doesn't matter anymore, like. Because they care so much about winning that they're willing to recruit an entire another guild from off server to come here just to pad their numbers, because that's what makes 90% of the fights win, you know. And then win or lose, it's just a shit talk that like it never ends, you know. Like Elu,
The shit talk
from
is
the time he
50%
logs
of the
in,
fucking enjoyment for them, dude.
yeah, like they just from the time he logs in, it's just in faction chat nonstop. Like I have a screenshot from like last night. I didn't even read what he said, but I just opened up faction chat on my alt.
But
and
he was
for, like,
talking to himself.
for like 9 lines in a row. It's just Elu talking to himself in fucking faction chat, dude.
Yeah, but to be honest, the best part of my day is when we do win something and fucking faction chat and shout chat, everything just shuts the fuck up. That shit is great.
It doesn't though, because then it's excuses and it's shit
not
talk,
in
and then
East
it's like,
or
oh,
West.
how was
No.
Red Dragon, how was Kraken,
I'm
and just like
in
it
West,
doesn't
so I
end.
see faction. It's just fucking it definitely shuts up when they lose something. All those people just stop talking.
I mean, it's a short-lived silence, but it's a silence.
Yeah, it's why I play really. It's great.
Is it though? Because a lot of the time, at least I've had them all on block now, but before I blocked a lot of them, when they did lose something, they would just start linking a Leviathan statue or talking about wanting to sell Levi strats or shit like that. So
It is glorious when they have nothing to say. It's rare, but
It's frustrating for me to see that GG uses the West a lot, and we don't.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that the
We don't use it
content's
at all.
getting stale, and they're not going to give us the fair, fun
User
fights we want,
disconnected
so
from
it
your
gets
channel.
tiresome to go out to these things where the objective is for them to port out as quick as
User
possible.
joined your channel.
And people don't want to do that. Like, who wants to go and try to fucking do Kraken with 15 people when you know they're going to bring 40, and then, you know,
At
leave as
least.
soon as possible? Like, that's, I just, you know, like, when I go out there and I pot up and we wipe, you know, because we fuck up, albeit, you know, I'll say it, we fuck up sometimes, and we wipe in the first, like, minute, and then we're done. We just literally spent 20 minutes getting ready, porting out there, getting boats ready, potting up, we wipe one
For
time, and
2
it's
minutes,
done.
yeah.
I don't know,
And it's
man.
the same
I
shit
mean,
every time. It's the same content. There's no different strategies. Kraken's in the same fucking place. They have the same ports.
I mean, isn't the reason Kraken's the reason we don't get people to Kraken is people are at work. Like I have maybe one day a week that I'm not at work during Kraken.
Not only that, we've had like full raids. The problem is just how they do Kraken. Because they have so many boats, all it takes is for them to kill us once, and they can
Not even kill
easily
all of
take
us either, just kill a good
Right.
chunk.
Like, you can't really even contest it. Whoever pulls it first, as long as you have a decent amount of boats, it's gonna die.
I mean, you can contest it. We've wiped them before. We've reset it before. I mean, it's very
Yeah,
difficult for us to
User
actually pull it and
disconnected
kill
from
it
your
when they
channel.
have that port there.
Yeah,
Like,
the problem is even when we
there's
do
no
that,
coming back
they
to
they
that.
res right there, and they can port a minute and like 30 seconds away, north-south.
It's gonna be worse than 3.5. You can port with the rivers.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You know, but they get ported with an alt that we can't kill because it's
That's
on
true.
it's in Soulsreed, and they port right there to the island that only they can port to. The best we can do is put an alt on fucking Growlgate, and they can bring other alts there too, and like fuck with us
Port
at the port.
ourselves to their port. Like, I know that sounds dumb, but if that
No.
port, that thing is constantly opening at a port, couldn't we just like port to where it is and jump in their port?
If we
Wait,
res in
that's good.
Soulsreed,
Yeah.
if we res in
okay.
Soulsreed, they can attack us. We can't attack them,
Right,
and then
right.
they would just not open the port, and we'd be stuck there.
I thought he was like autoing like with a.
Yeah, like Panda, you'd have to like drive it outside of the actual zone, right?
So, I feel like one of the things for me in raids is like we've kind of like lost track on what we want to do here. Like half of the people want to win the content, while the other half wants to contest. And
I'll be honest
it's
with
just-
you. I don't care if I win the content. I wanna inflict a loss on disaster.
Yeah, I want the
if
good
that makes
fight,
sense. If that makes sense.
I will give up
is a
every
loss
single
to
red
them is the
dragon if we just continuously wipe disaster over and over and over and over again. To the point where we're just like, you know what, you can have it. Because we've just farmed you so much.
You say that, but they have that pride, Cream. Trust me.
And then,
Yesterday,
And that's their pride,
yesterday,
though.
last night, they said debated, and then we fucking wiped them twice, and they couldn't do anything, even with less numbers. Like we wiped them twice. They shut
not
up.
to mention, like,
They fucking
we
shut
can
up.
sit there and fight them
But
all night long, and it'll be fun, but if you do that over and over every single day, yeah, it's enjoyable, but people who can't pay to win want to progress, like, things.
Like, what?
I don't think you'll have
we
any
to
issue
have, like,
progressing in
one goal.
3.5.
We have, like,
The personal goal generation is out of control.
Like, as a nation, what's our goal to do? Because if we all have, like, a different nation goal, like, even I feel like the leadership has, like, all different nation goals, then we're never going to be on the same page. And we're never all
So
gonna
you're
have
saying
fun.
that the nation needs a mission statement?
Like, are we here to contest?
Exactly,
are we here to PvP for fun? Like, what are we here to do?
Are we here to win content? Right.
I think you have to realize that as someone who has fought a Zerg for a very, very long time, as a small amount of people and getting Zerged, you can learn to get past it, you can learn to get over it, you can learn to understand how to use it to your
User
advantage
joined your channel.
and things like that. But at the end of the day, there is still something gratifying about winning. About actually taking it from them. About actually taking something that they want. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not saying, you know, we want to monopolize the server and, like, choke them until fucking, you know, so they get nothing. Like, yeah, absolutely we do, because disaster are such faggots, but...
That's what they did to us. I feel like we need, like, maybe we should fucking change that, because that's, by bringing Omen here, and by still bringing West out, like, it feels like that's what they want to do. I think they're done with this whole concept of, oh, let's have a fun PvP server.
Of PvP,
It's
yeah.
now
Yeah,
it's
they
more
they
like,
don't want to give us
let's
the fair
fucking
fight, and
destroy them.
that's what we enjoy. Like, you can say that you can tolerate being zerged and losing because you're gonna go out for PvP, but if you think PvP is going out 20v50 and just getting shit, you know, like, and just dying over and over, then you have an entirely different enjoyment of the game than I do, because that to me is not fun. Like, I don't enjoy going into a fight with literal no chance of winning, because just they're going to bring as many numbers as possible, use as many cheesy tactics as possible. Like, I don't mind fighting outnumbered, I don't mind fighting a losing battle, but like going into like an event, like a scenario that we all know the outcome of, you know, I'm not like down talking like our ability and like, but when you're going into a 20v40 fight and you know that even if it's 20v40 and you happen to almost wipe them, they're going to bring 20 more and it will be a 20v60, and they have no problem with that. That's what makes it like not fun, you know? Like, they're not going to give us the fair fights that most people like naturally enjoy, you know, where you have a chance of coming back or fighting uphill. They would rather have 100% chance than give us that 1%.
That's disaster. I mean, that's how they've always operated.
And I'm okay with playing with that 1% chance of winning, you know, because yeah, it's super gratifying when you actually pull it off, but they don't want to give it to us, and that's what makes it not fun.
So, I feel like, as a nation, we should come up for, like, a direction for the nation. Because if we don't have one, then we're just gonna, like, follow down the path that we're already
It's
going.
just hard, PJ, because a lot of it comes down to like personal play, like just not just because we're getting farmed or something like that.
But
no,
then
like let's say our nation's statement or whatever is like, we're here to contest, and then no matter if we die, you just keep going out there. Some people are gonna enjoy it, some aren't.
But that's like one of the problems right now.
It's
like,
what has to
think
happen, though.
That's why some of the people aren't coming out to events. Because
People, main reason people aren't coming out to events is because we're losing everything. Like, nobody likes to lose.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, those people probably want to win the events, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but the definition of winning is different. To a troll, definition of winning is stalling as much as you can.
What's your definition of contesting then? You know, or having fun? Isn't the having fun like stalling them? Because
yeah, sure. I mean,
if they have 80 and we have 20, you know, you're not going to stall them and you're not going to win. So people like you know not coming out. It's for the same reason. You know,
I agree with
it's
that,
not
and I think
necessarily
at that
because they
At
think
that
we're gonna
point.
lose, it's because they know we legitimately don't even have a chance to contest it. You know?
Yeah.
It's also a vicious cycle of, you know, okay, I don't want to go because I know one's going to be there. Okay, because I know that and because I'm not going, there's another person that's not going. So yes, obviously no one is going to be.
Like if
We're
Kraken
creating a
had,
self-fulfilling prophecy.
yeah, like if Kraken had like 10 times the health that it has now, I would go out like with half the numbers every single time just to blow up boats because I know it would stall them out forever. But the fact of the matter is they only have to wipe us once with Rebirth, and then they have so many boats and Kraken has so little health that they'll kill it. So like it does feel kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, like, you know, when we go out there, because it's such an easy objective for them, you know, and they know what they have to do and they're not going to give us the fight.
And
I'm gonna
isn't
be
the
choosing
ultimate
our events more
contesting taking
wisely.
it from them, DB?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I
but
feel
why?
like that's the...
Yeah, but like if you can do it, sure. But when there's like literally no chance of taking it, like why even give them content of like for them to like trash talk or something? Like why do we have to go to every event and lose?
I mean, they're gonna trash talk either way. Like, you go
I'm
out
just
there,
saying,
you
yeah.
die, oh, you go farm.
You go to events, they'll
don't go
trash talk.
out,
You
you'll be
don't
like,
go to
oh, where you
events,
at,
they'll trash
Kraken?
talk even more.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if you're like,
They
it
get
gets to the
so
point where you
mad
start burning
if we
people
don't
out,
go to
right?
events.
They get more mad if you don't go
I'm just
because
saying,
that's their
this
validation is by
all
stomping
of
us,
this,
you know.
all of everything that's happening right now, even including this meeting happened before, like with NECL. And Panda knows, like exactly, this is like, it's all repeating itself. It's even getting to the point where they're pulling Levy at midnight for who knows what reason, you know, just to like, quote unquote, just to bait us or like to troll us, so that nobody gets any sleep or something like that. And then sooner or later, we're gonna start sending people on rotation out there to watch over Levy and stuff. I mean, I know 3.5 is coming, but it's their same tactics and everything.
Well, like,
It all started because we started burning people out, and people start quitting, people start rereading their gear because this is a stupid game. We've had it, you know, we've had quite a few, or not quite a few, but some people just like randomly quit the nation because it's not fun. So like I don't have the answer how to fix it. I guess like to me I just do my own thing. You know, like if I get bored I just don't go to events or like you know do something else or even like log out play other games. But I can't really help with what the answer is. But like from what I can tell is that it's happening in a game with NECL.
I feel like we have to come up with some kind of like direction that we're gonna go, because if we don't come up with a direction, then I don't think we're gonna last. Like, our numbers are going down for events, so
I think we're telling you the answers. I think people are arguing against the answers, but I think in reality, we're just telling you why we're frustrated, and if you guys don't think about it, we're gonna, like PJ said, continue losing the numbers.
No, absolutely, and that's the whole point of this meeting, is to get a better understanding of how you guys are feeling, what your frustrations are, what are things we can fix, what are things we can't fix. Because, you know, we have 170 people in this nation. I can't individually sit down and talk to each one of you and have this discussion.
Even if you did, like every person will have a different answer. Like,
And what do you mean by that? You just need to quit the AFKs and invite more active people.
maybe AFKs.
That doesn't solve anything though. Yeah, it's not like there's people waiting to get in.
That's the question. Just like Mott said, you try to go full or like fair fight, they don't want a fair fight.
If we happen to get 200 active people in this nation, they would get 300, because they would make a West guild for spillover like Disaster is right now, and continue to invite the West, you know, like it doesn't matter, like they're never gonna, it doesn't matter how many active players we have, they're never gonna respect that number, you know, there's the brainwashing of how many we have versus how many they have, and they'll just continue to bring more, because that's what wins fights. There's a very small outplay factor, like very, very small when the numbers
I mean,
are
like,
skewed.
we say all the time that numbers doesn't matter, but in this game it does.
No.
People
I
have the
took
same
statistics
chance as you to gear up.
I took statistics for 5 weeks when like Hee-Haw was in Disaster, and I will say that during the weekday, like before Oceanic time or before 8 p.m. East, Disaster outnumbered us at 78% of events. On the weekend at Oceanic time, we outnumbered them 84% of the events. 94.5% of the time, if you were outnumbering the other side by at least 5 members, you won the event. The only event I didn't keep track of was Abyssal, because I missed a lot of them. So 94.5% of the time, you have 5 people over the other side, you win the fucking content. Like, that's our gauge.
I mean, as daunting as that fact may be, that the fact that yes, you can just throw numbers at the solution. I mean, no matter what, you have seen the fact where we have taken fights with less people and you can do it. Yes, is it going to be something where you can pull off every single time? No, absolutely not. You've seen it. When we're fighting outnumbered and every single little mistake is multiplied times 10. You can have some fucking retarded healer in GG's raid if they have 25 on top of you, often fucking BFE that gets picked off, and it doesn't matter. Because if that healer dies, who gives a fuck? If that happens to us and we lose one of our 10 healers, yeah, that's huge.
Beating them when they have more numbers than us is always rewarding too, but it doesn't happen as often. Like when we're outnumbered, I don't feel like the wins happen as much. But it does, definitely. We've won outnumbered plenty of times, and it's super rewarding when we win. But, you know, like, then they bring 10 more people on, and it becomes more of an uphill battle. Like, it's just, it definitely sucks when they just keep on throwing more corpses at you. And sometimes in the same fight, like, you'll be like, oh, we're winning this, and then, like, they have 10 people just got rezzed. Like, what the fuck? They do out-res us a lot. But they have more numbers, too, so it makes it easier for them.
It's not just about numbers, though.
It's not only about numbers, but that does end up becoming the snowballing factor in a lot of fights.
I can say 100%. I can say 100% that Disaster's res game, their suits are, like, retarded.
Not just their suits. Their combat reses are way better, and I know a lot of the healers are trying to get better at it, but it's not an easy thing, and maybe it's just because I lag around so much I can't get them off very well, but it's something we need to work on. And I feel like they've been getting a little bit better recently, but being zerged, it's harder to get that room for the Sooth to res, and...
With that said, I think we do actually sustain better than them. We die less. It's just once we start dying, it becomes a harder and harder fight because we're not getting the reses. But I think we sustain better.
Why don't we just go away from the res game? Like, we're not good at it.
What do you mean go away from the res game? We're talking about them out-resing us.
Just go full sustain.
So we've tried that the last couple of weeks.
We've
had more clerics, and this last week we've had more clerics, more Hyros, and less Sooths. We still get called to go Sooth, so we go Sooth. If we're not getting a Sooth reses off, we'll go back to Hyro or to cleric, but it's not...
We've already established that anti-mana.
I like the sustain game better, and I think it works a lot better equal numbers, but we're almost never equal numbers, so it's rougher, you know?
Yeah.
We get overwhelmed with SKs.
And that's also one of the problems that people are not recognizing is if they have more people, they can let their people go SK, and that will like lock us up really bad.
Yeah, if they have superior numbers, you just get more SKs, and you can control their entire raid.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing to us. It's not that we're not trying. It's just that's what they're doing.
Well, it doesn't really sacrifice their damage.
One SK can hold up 5 people if that SK is like any competent. And if they have 5 more, that's 25 people that they can lock up.
Okay. But I mean, the question is more of, like, what do you guys think we can do better? What do you guys think we can improve on to make the situation?
Well, someone mentioned it before. It's just when we have more melee, we cannot be playing like we're a mage ball. We can't at all.
I think we need to have, like... a mage or two, like initiator mage, move with the melee ball too. To be honest,
I know that you want, like, as a driver, you want people to push up with you, or else you're gonna die really fast. But if you're driving into a wall of SK and all you have are melees and archers and clerics, you're gonna die. No question, you're gonna die because they're gonna have more CC than you. They have everything that's better than you.
But I feel like our melee get focused hard from both sides. Like, I think we're hitting SKs in the front a lot of times. They're just running into us. They have so many of them. They're running into the melee ball, and we're getting crushed from the back. So
if you look at if you ever record, you look at it, and their SKs, like, they form like a bubble around their main raid. and inside that main raid are their healers and their fucking more of their SKs. And so when you're a melee or an archer and you want us to push up, you're asking us to die.
They do better about committing their mages to our melee. Like, honestly, it's playing their game. Like, if you want my suggestion, I think we just need to start picking fights we know we can win, because no matter how many times you say, like, oh, it's fun to contest, it's not fun going to Dragon with 40 people and wiping their 60-man raid 3 times and then fucking up once, and because they have more people that they take, you know, they kill Dragon, they get the loot and they port out.
But they can
Like,
go
you
either
can
way,
say,
right?
oh,
We
it
can
was
wipe them 3
awesome.
times and can just take it from them.
We
If
can
you
try
watch
to,
the
yeah,
way-
but
if you
it
watch
doesn't
the way
always happen
raids
that way.
die, though, if you watch the way raids die, the whole bottom raid is dead before anybody on the top raid is dead.
Yeah.
Like healers and mages are the last ones they focus on. The melee will be completely wiped before anything else dies.
Yeah, because a mage ball will always outdo a melee ball.
It's because we're playing their game. Like, we're trying to play them with their strategy. Like, it just doesn't work. They have more mages. They have more mages geared for playing that way, and they have more and like stronger, like, you know, better weapon healers. So they can beat us in this straight, like, let's see who can CC the other one and blow up the melee first, because they do that. Like, I think
It's
we
just
just need
a
to not
lot
play
of-
those fights into them. Like, pick the fights we know we can win at world bosses. Like, I don't see a reason in porting out the fucking Dragon when we have 20 and they have 80, or going out the Kraken if we only have 15 and we know they have a full raid, because it's literally just giving them content. And if there's no chance of even fucking with them, outside of, like, Bone Crawl, you know, then we shouldn't even try to just go fight them and outplay them with, like, those numbers. Like, go there with the intent to Bone Crawl and steal tentacles instead. Because we're not going to win those fights. Like, we're...
Exactly.
At
So
best,
maybe it is
we can
about
win an
changing
equal
the way
number
we
fight.
like our goals.
Well, just
Yeah,
like guerrilla tactics, yeah?
Yeah, like,
yeah,
if
maybe
we
we
know
need to
that they're going to
change
bring...
instead of
Go ahead.
jumping off boats and stuff. Like, I know at Abyssal and stuff we get called to jump in the water all the time, and they engulf us. Maybe it's more about staying on the boats, blowing their shit up, and just running. Like, I know that sounds pansy or whatever, but if you don't have the numbers, why play into their hands and give them that honor? Like,
That's what they want, right? They
yeah,
want us
they
to go
want
into
us
their
to-
superior mage numbers and suicide trying to win at
Yeah.
their game. Like, we just need to
Because
start
You
they
guys
playing our
have
own
to
game.
understand that if you go look at the skill list, a
I think what
SK
Sophie
combo
said,
will
yeah.
always outdo a melee's combo. Because they have a lot of their combos that will disable a lot of the melee's combo.
I mean,
and
the
that kills
biggest
you.
thing that I think you guys are getting from this is that, yes, obviously you guys aren't enjoying, you know, going to content where you are getting wiped, or going to content where the clear goal is to try and take said content, when you realize that that is not possible. Like, that's just not possible. Like, going to
Yeah,
Kraken
I think
with
instead of
20
making it
people
to kill
or
Kraken,
60
make it to
people,
fuck with them, you know?
Yeah, like,
mean,
fuck with it. Don't even show up until it dies. Right?
I don't care about
even
the
show up
loot,
until
that's
it
why I
dies and then
come
go
every
and
day.
grab tentacles and just, like, fuck with their tentacles. Like, I definitely think that, yes, that could definitely work.
I don't
wanna
care
say
about loot at all,
something-
to be honest. Like, I don't care about winning the content. Hurting them and making them frustrated is more entertaining.
I want to say something to what Mod said. I know you're saying that, you know, like maybe don't show up when you don't have the numbers. But what about when you do want to go and you want to have the numbers? How do you... Because if you tell me I'm not going to go Kraken because I don't have numbers, I can tell
I'm not
you...
saying don't go. I'm saying don't go with the intent to try to stop them from doing Kraken. Try to do something
Yeah.
else. Like, you remember the days when they were outnumbering us, and instead of, like, trying to fight them, we just went to, like, Gold Trader and shit and did things that benefited us? You know, because we knew they were going to be zerging, like, DGS and shit. Like, do that instead. Like, do something else that benefits us.
No, I understand completely, because that's different from what you said.
And
Because
like one of the problem that we have, or I noticed the drivers have, is you think that you're stringing them out, but for some reason I can see a lot of them still behind like their runner. Yeah,
Okay.
I still see a lot of them like trailing behind their front runner, and we still jump off the boat and then we get wiped, and then we ask ourselves, how did we get wiped?
They're good at
Okay.
baiting. They're good at baiting for sure.
No doubt, but let's try and stay on topic. So,
yeah, because I
what-
feel like if we say, okay, we're not going to show up to Kraken, or I don't know, if we... People will stop taking it seriously completely, and I feel like we're going to have even less numbers.
Yeah, you will have less numbers if you tell people don't show up to Kraken.
I don't think
I
that's what
think
he's
it's
saying. He's not
obvious.
saying. He's not saying let's
I don't
not.
think he's saying
not
that.
saying no. He's saying like if we know
Yeah,
we
just
can't win that fight,
change the
change
strategy.
your goal.
If
Change
we
your
know that
goal.
we
Your
can't
goal is
win
not there to
raid
get
v
killed.
raid, don't raid fight them.
Yeah, I think what he means is like get the raid together when you know how many numbers you have, then determine what you're going to do instead of just every time putting out there. Oh, let's take Kraken, and then you get 10 people, and you're like, okay, we're probably not going to take Kraken. Like, and seeing that more is what he's saying.
Because I feel like even at Abyssal and things like that, we get used as if we were a full raid, and we're not. Like, we get told to jump in the water when we know they've got a raid and a half. Like, that, to me, it would be more beneficial for us to keep blowing up their shit and stopping them from getting their Luskas by blowing up their shit and running. Like, it's not like the coward's way out, but it's using the numbers we have to the best advantage. I feel like if we keep throwing ourselves at them, it doesn't stop them, it only stops us.
Yeah, we keep trying to fight what's way bigger than us, and it never worked.
User in your
Except for
channel
like
timed out.
maybe a couple of times under Dragon.
Yeah, like
Maybe
for
the East
Luskas,
was onto
if we go outnumbered, just like kill the West or do something like, because they cry to disaster, or kill Omen when they're like not their boats, like they drive like fucking shit. Like
If we're
there's
losing
definitely
outnumbered
different
at
goals.
Luska, instead of going to fight them, we could do shit like everyone get in the water, tag the Luskas but don't kill them and swim down so they can't get their tags, kill their heroes and camp them on the port end. Like don't let them get sued, like just
User
deny
entered
them
your
leadership
channel.
and try to get tags that way. Like rather than try to raid fight them when they have clearly like better raid comp or more numbers, then just fuck with them. Like stop their objective. Like we don't necessarily have to beat them in a raid fight to piss them off. Like you camp their heroes and prevent them from getting leadership, that will tilt them more than just like killing them over and over.
Okay. So, to sum up, so we aren't here forever. I think that overall you guys are wanting more of goals per raid. We want to focus more on if they are going to be outnumbered to actually specifically work on a goal. Like, okay, we're going to Kraken. We know they have 60 people. We know we have 20. So our goal today is going to try and get a perfect bone crawl off as they're going south. We're not going to contest Kraken. We're just going to try and bone crawl them, try and get tentacles as they come off, try and pick people off. Like, yeah, you could have specific goals like that where the goal for that raid is that specific thing. Achievable goals, yes. So tomorrow, let's set an achievable goal with everyone here in this channel. There's 84 people in this channel. Let's set an achievable goal for tomorrow. You know that tomorrow is all content day. You know that tomorrow there's Kraken, there's Red Dragon, there's Abyssal, there's Luskas, there's probably going to be Leviathan. What do you guys want to focus on? What do you want the goal to be?
Steal as many harpoons as we can. Like, not even engaging in big fights, trying to push in, pull their harpoons, take them out, put them out. Like, just keep doing it.
We know what they want to do, so let's stop them from doing that as best we can. Like, let's not let them get Abyssal so that they can't go try to do Levy with the Sea Knight buff. That's when they do Kraken, if they have like a massive, number advantage, which they're likely to do, let's try to like bomb them when they're packing up and just steal tentacles, like, or kill their stragglers. But, I don't think driving into them with 40 people when they have 70 and getting wiped and then them killing it and running away is going to be fun for anyone. So let's try to like just not die and cheese the fuck out of them. Just bomb them when they're leaving, bomb them when they're fucking loading up tentacles, grab tentacles and leave, have people on the bottom.
Push and pull them around. Like,
yeah.
Everyone get their own bone crawls and fucking drive your boat into them. See if you can blow up as many people as you want. Like, try and push and pull their boats out of position. Like,
if we can't take the entire fight, like we can't get Kraken, let's make them lose something. Like make them lose their dignity, make them lose tentacles. Like I said, camping heroes at Abyssal and Luska, I promise you that makes them rage. Especially like Gaia and fucking Jacid, like the really emotional people. If they don't get their fucking Luskas done, they will be mad as fuck.
I actually liked a lot the other day when we like dicked with them at DGS. We actually stole the packs from them too, which is like an extra added bonus. But when we just drove around them and fucked with Omen's boat because they were fucking horrible at driving, like that was fun. Just fuck with them when we were outnumbered.
I'm going to read this out loud for you, Susha, since you don't want to. Or I guess not everybody can read. So the
Yeah,
goal
and like
tomorrow.
what Susha said there too. We
Yeah.
when they had like 40 on for DGS one day at like AM DGS time, or AM fucking Gold Trader, we went and ran packs to Gold Trader instead.
Yeah.
Like why
It was pretty
suicide into them and give them what they want? Like they were pissed. They were literally triggered that we were doing fucking Gold Trader while they were out there with fucking 30 people doing DGS because we all made more money than they did.
I had somebody poke me and make the suggestion that we should also try to do more silly and fun raids outside of PvP and try to have more fun as a nation. So we're not strictly only logging in and hanging out with each other for PvP.
It's hard to find stuff outside of content though. They just don't show up.
You can go to Aurora and shit on the like. I don't know if you guys saw Sophie's video. I was laughing for like 10 minutes when he was just stealing. He was stealing the guy's
the silly
waters.
things doesn't have to be PvP related. It could be like, hey, let's all try to go get level 7 merit quest done, or some bullshit like that. It's what they're saying. They're saying find truly silly shit to do as a group, and hang out.
Like that time you guys ran Blazing Logs to, what was it, Free Ditch Underwater?
Oh my god.
Took like
that
4
was
hours.
not ever again.
You mean our fucking 3 hours underwater? No.
We didn't do a pack run with everybody expecting the vitalism. Like that one Korean video was absolutely hilarious.
Anything is better than fighting their fight and suiciding into their shit and boosting their ego, to be honest. Like, if you want to go out and, like, hunt world bosses on the fucking continents, or just do land runs, or do whatever, like, help people on your fucking alts, like, doing merchants and shit, like, anything is better than just suiciding and giving them the fights they want, where they have double our numbers and they can just shit talk
I
and
think
shout
Sophie's
chat.
makes a good point.
I think Sophie's point is a really good
after
point.
3.5,
If
camping
we can
those
like band
trading
together and
posts
try
are
and
gonna be
camp
fun.
those new areas like that are coming out, like if we can try and make or if people are PvPing in Rookborn, let's fucking beat the shit out of them because fuck those guys.
Also, another thing is, doing these extra activities outside of raids creates a sense of community between us. And sometimes I know that people don't want to log in because they're like, I don't know any of these people, like, I don't... That would
Yeah, I agree with you, Susha.
Yeah.
You can't really have a relationship with someone when all you do is sit and ride with
Is
them all day long.
right. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, Bargy demoed his land for being camped this morning, I assume. Like, I've killed him every day for the past month. Whatever Sophie's did triggered him to the point he fucking he uprooted his shit. And today I went out there and, like, all of his land surrounding mine was gone.
I was on his trial today, and I asked him about his girlfriend, and he was really mad.
I mean,
I've legit
didn't
fought
she
him
call
every
him
day
like
for
a
months.
tranny, like something?
No.
I don't even know. Man.
That's toxic, Taria.
I did not say anything.
Don't believe tequila is propaganda.
So, like,
So to sum up,
concerning the goal, right? Concerning the goal that we talked about earlier, it reached the point, like, you guys know how RKG is, like, you need to demoralize other people so they don't come to raids. At the end, that guild dies, right? Like, Bargy, like, uprooting his shit today. That fucking hurts for him, I'm pretty sure. So, like, if we keep on doing that to their members, like, I don't know.
Pick the fights we can win. Like, it pisses them off more when we don't go and just try to raid them when they have more numbers and a better comp. Like, it triggers them more than anything.
I think that should be your goal for tomorrow. Like, 0 raid v raid. Like, if they want to fully commit, just run, and start picking them up, or trolling them.
We do
But,
better
like, the
like
goal
that when
is
they're under
just
the dragon.
No raid
And
v
they,
raid.
yeah, when they're under the
you said
dragon
that they
with
be,
fake
but
pushes and do well.
there are people that
Because,
enjoy the raid v
they
raid.
only do raid v raid. No, I mean, I said, obviously, if you make a raid, I'm just saying, like, don't fully commit to a raid v raid. So, they're...
You're gonna have to at some point, though, dude.
How's this?
I mean,
How
you're
about
gonna lose
we-
a third of your raid every time you try.
How about we just do... Let's make focus. We know that tomorrow we have to block Abyssal. We know that, that's AIDS if that happens. But we
That
also
should be
know...
our one actual goal. Like, if we do anything else, like, let's stop that, because that stops them doing Levy too.
You're right, but
User
the other
left your
thing that
channel.
we also have a lot of fun and a lot of success with, if we can pull the people, is Red Dragon. And I know we can, and I know we have fun doing that. So, right now,
I also
83
feel
people
those
in
two
this
should be
channel.
our main Go.
Tomorrow, Red Dragon, Abyssal. Focus, that's it. Main focus.
Kraken will go out there and fuck around and try to blow them
Oh
up.
yeah, I just set my bone crawl up for tomorrow, so.
Prep your bone crawls, get your fucking TP reset specs ready. Like, if they're gonna bring out fucking 60 people knowing we only have 25, then let's not fucking fight them with 25.
Yeah,
like,
we'll
do something else. We will take fucking tentacles. Like, we'll camp the port in and kill the fucking stragglers so they don't get there in time. Like, any shit like that just to piss them off.
Reminds me of the time we were at Abyssal and we all...
Dizzle's right. I run
Abyssal,
defense as a crutch. Hands down.
Oh, and
User disconnected from your
fighting
channel.
against Disaster, I think we should take a note from how the East plays. Let's just do what the East does at Abyssal. And
Collect
Luskas.
boats. See how
All
many
the
boats
East
we can
does
blow
is
up.
go around and blow shit up. Like,
Yeah.
they don't go in the water at
I
all.
think... Fuck, I've been in three guilds that have died and been completely outnumbered. In the end, it's like, pick what you can fight, you pick what you can do, you do it well. Not that we did any of those well.
Do we have other boats besides the Noan? Because smaller boats are more mobile, like the galleons. Like, does anybody have the
We
Black
would have to
Pearl or
have
whatever?
multiple boats.
For
Well,
what
we're
objective?
actually
For
harder
Abyssal?
to fight if we are on multiple boats, though, right? Like, if we split the raid into a couple and just like shit on their boats.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have
if
a
they
lot
do that,
of
we can drive 3
decent
boats to Abyssal, and if they commit to 1 boat, the other 2 boats just blow up their fucking Anoan, and then res our people who die. And
Yeah,
just
because
keep
if
blowing
you
up
put
their
if you
fucking
put
boat,
everybody
forcing them
on
to water.
one, if you put everybody on the Anoan, they just knock
It's
a few
one
people
target,
off, and then,
focus the
yeah.
target, yeah. I think definitely tomorrow we can definitely do some plays, like have 4 people on the Anoan or something and bait the Anoan while blowing up their other boats and shit. Like, I think we can definitely do a lot of fun. But the big things that I want to focus on tomorrow, and I think that we can all focus on and that we can definitely achieve, is blocking Abyssal and actually going to Red Dragon and getting some really, really good PvP out of it. Because we do get some really good PvP out of Dragon.
I want to say something as well. Like, this is all like good and stuff, but this is under the assumption that we're gonna be outnumbered and unwinnable fight. But if we actually do have the numbers, if we actually do have the people, I think we should always go for the win.
Yep.
Against
Of
this
course.
other
We
team.
should always
Like,
go for the win if we can, but if we
Like,
can't, don't just
exactly.
keep deciding.
Like, I'm just making sure that people understand that, okay, we're talking about
I think it's
trolling
more
and
of
stuff, but it's
just
more like
knowing
if
when
we're
to
gonna
call
have
it
the
is
numbers.
maybe what you're saying, Solicit.
Yeah.
And
Sort
that
of,
is
or
something
just
that
making a
definitely
different
we could do
objective. You know,
better.
like when you go out to DGS with 12 to 15 people and just skirmish them over and over, eventually they get lazy because they think you're just gonna troll, or they stop coming out, and then all of a sudden we have 20 and they have 20, we can actually, you know, contest and take it. You know, you just have to like, you have to, you know, you can't
I
make
think
the
it's
goal every time to wipe them and do DGS and leave. Sometimes it's gonna be just healing it over and over until they rage quit.
Till those people next time don't show up because they're like, oh, they're just gonna fucking heal you over and over.
Let's do
boring.
what we want to do instead of what Disaster wants us to do.
When the nation started, I felt like we did things when and how we wanted to, and I really liked that. More lately, people are feeling what Disaster is up to and feeling like they need to play by their actions. Yeah, I definitely
Pretty much
agree.
what Lily just said, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think that we're definitely, you know, sometimes you get astray from that. And I think that people will definitely have a lot more fun if that is occurring. So I'm really
curious about
happy to get you
Thunderwing
guys' feedback.
Titan. Does anyone here enjoy Thunderwing Titan? And like, be
I
honest.
enjoy we get the boss because it's fun. Like, the
I got
boss
an
is
essay-
actually fun to do.
I'm with Keel. I'm with Diane. I like the actual fight of Thunderwing. The PvE, 100%.
The PvP's
really
not bad.
fun.
It's just, it's terrible when you don't have a raid for it, you know?
PvP's not bad when it actually happens, but you know how they want to fight. They don't want to fight.
don't.
They,
Yeah, but we
it's-
haven't been bringing up enough people to try and force the island, really. I mean...
Well, yeah, there's always a problem because now it spawns at fucking 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock during the afternoon.
Yeah, they push it all the way to their time zone. Like, we could barely have anyone to push the timer back.
I mean, but it's fun when you can, like, control... You have enough people where you can control top and force them to, you know, try and move on
Push
and
into
stuff
you.
like that.
I think
Yeah.
we've had great fights when we've had fights, like when it's actually a fight.
But if we don't have enough people, then it's just not there's not a whole lot.
At Thunderwing, we can honestly, if we don't have enough to actually contest them, they have double numbers, just don't go out there. Because what it will do is it will make them start bringing less and less, and eventually they won't have enough to kill it.
Or just
because
don't
they've already
bother
shown that they
actually
can't kill
doing
it,
it
with,
and
you
just
know,
sit
less
at the
than a raid.
bottom and fucking control the tower. And if they come down to try and build the tower, just keep fighting them and downrank.
Or just shit on their stragglers when they're trying to get up the hill, because a lot of them suck at flying.
Because you push that timer back long enough, they fucking won't want to be there all day. Not that we do, but... And we'll get more people on.
Yeah, they do have
over
filters,
time.
but still.
I think that another thing that would be really good doing raids, like the way that we want to do them too, specifically have fun. Like I said before, it will build a sense of community. And so many people say things like, oh, I play for my friends. So I don't think, like, our only goal should be trying to demoralize them. It should be trying to build more of our community as well.
No, I definitely think that is a good point. You know, you don't want to be so focused on into the negative to the point where, you know, you are engulfed by it, or, you know, taken over by it to the point where it's no longer about actually enjoying the game. It's just to the point of their demise.
And yeah, like I said, so many people play for their friends. They'll come and they'll log on to hang out and have fun with the people that they enjoy.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is the whole point of this meeting. We just wanted to get a feeler of how people were feeling, kind of get a better understanding so that we can make a better, you know, informed decision. So please,
I think we just
if you
answered
guys
the
have
first
more
question.
things-
Was there any other question?
No, I mean, that basically was
Oh,
the
that's
question.
the meeting. It's like
That
people
is the
don't wanna
meeting.
People
We
don't wanna
just
show
wanted
up,
to
people
talk
not
about
having
that in
fun,
particular.
people not paying attention. Like, why? And pretty much.
I thought we were going to talk about 3.5.